And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed. To you it shall be for food. Genesis 1:29. Man did eat angels' food. He sent them meat to the full. Psalm 78:25. Everyday Manna with Lisa.
Hi everybody, and Merry Christmas. Today we are going to be doing some Christmas some Christmas recipes, some easy things that you can cook for your holidays. You know, a lot of times people get together on Christmas Day, they get together Christmas Eve, or any other day. The holiday season, Christmas season, from Thanksgiving through New Year's is busy, and we are having get-togethers at various times. So I wanted to give you some easy recipes that you can do that everybody's gonna like. And we're gonna actually get started with dessert. One of my favorite things to eat is a warm, fresh from the oven brownie. So today we're gonna make some brownies, and we're gonna make a homemade chocolate sauce, and we've got some ice cream, and it's gonna be fabulous. Then I'm gonna show you how to do an easy, quick prep. Crock Pot ham. Say that 10 times fast. A crock pot glazed ham that is absolutely divine and couldn't be simpler. And then we're going to make a wonderful salad to go alongside that. So let's get started on our dessert. My oven is at 325 degrees. Now I have found there's one particular, and I'll tell you the brand of this. I normally don't give out brands, but this one is the best, I think. And this is the Ghirardelli brownie mix. It is absolutely scrumptious. So this is just one box of the Ghirardelli brownie mix. If you don't use the Ghirardelli, you will need to read on the back of your box and see what you need. Now with this one, I need 1 egg. So I'm going to put 1 egg in here, and I'm gonna lightly beat it. Just kind of get it broke up. And then my box said some oil and water, so that's what we're doing. Brownies are simple to make. And then you're just gonna add that right to the mix. The key with this is don't over mix it, and this holds true with cake mixes, with muffins, with pancakes, with brownies, with anything. If you overbeat it, it's gonna be tough. With brownies, you just wanna mix in your liquid ingredients until there's no dry, floury mixture left. I've got a glass pan there that I have sprayed with non-stick spray that is for baking, and I have lined mine with a sheet of parchment paper because I find it's easier to get it out, and I'll go over that in just a second. But I just want to get all of the dry flour mixture stirred in there, about 50 or so strokes, until there's no flour mixture, and that's good. Now, what I did was I kind of made a sling. I sprayed the dish, and I cut a sheet of parchment paper, and I left the sides out, because when it's done, then you can lift it right up from there, and I'm gonna just pour this mixture into that pan. And my oven is preheated. And I use a rubber spatula to get all that out of there. And what little bit's left, you lick. If you've never licked a brownie bowl, you've missed something in life, or the little beaters. And then just kind of spread it out. What I do is I take this and I go on the side there, and then you can take it and scrape to get even more of that goodness out of there. Now, this will go into a 325 degree oven. Takes about 40 minutes. So that just needs to bake. Now, we are gonna get started on the ham. And this is something you can put in your crock pot the night before. It works great. Or you can put it in your crock pot the morning of, whatever works for you. I have a crock pot here, and I have a ham here. Let me just move this out of the way here. On my cutting board, this is a half semi-boneless ham, and I'm just gonna take off. You can use, whatever kind of ham you like. The spiral glazed works really well in this kind of recipe. Get that wrapper off of there. And there, most of the time, will be a paper type wrapping on there, and you need to get that off. And if there are any really big pockets of fat, you will want to get those off, but it's going to have some fat on it. It's a ham. Whatever kind you like will work in this recipe. Now, what I like to do is take a paring knife on a cutting board, and I like to just score the ham just a little bit, about, I'd say, 1/4 of an inch deep. The reason for this, you don't have to do this, but I think it lets the juices from the flavorings that we're going to put on there get down into the meat a little easier, and it looks pretty. And that's all you need to do. Then we're going to put our ham down in our crock pot. Make sure the ham that you buy is a size that will fit in your crock pot. If not, you're going to need to cut it in half. But this fits perfectly down in there. And then I'm going to take some brown sugar. I'm using light brown, and I'm going to pat it on the sides of my ham, about 1/2 cup or so. I mean, you don't have to, it's not rocket science, just coat it with some brown sugar. Press it on there as best you can. Some will fall, that's okay. Let me rinse my hands here real quick. I'll wash them when I'm done. Just get some of that sugar off. Then 1 can around the sides. Try not to put it over the ham because you don't want to knock off that brown sugar. But pineapple chunks, juice and all. And then some honey over the top. Now I do put the honey over the brown sugar. About 1/4 cup or so of honey. Put this on low. And for this ham, this size ham, about 6 hours or so on low is good. Actually, I'm just going to let that finish because just drizzle some all the way over. There's enough in there for me a cup of tea. I love honey in my tea. And that's it. Put your lid on it, and then, you just let it cook in the crock pot for, about 6 hours or so, 6 to 8 hours. My particular one, after it's done, has a setting called warm. So when your ham is cooked and maybe it's not quite time to eat, you can just put it on warm and it'll keep it warm until you're ready to serve it. So that's really it. A ham in your crock pot is easy, and it will free up your oven to make the other side dishes and things like that you're going to be serving, and it's delicious. And because it holds in the heat, the ham stays moist, and it's so good, and it could not be simpler. I'm just going to clean this up, wash my hands. When I come back, we are going to make a salad with I'm going to show you how to get those little seeds out of a pomegranate with a red wine vinaigrette, and then we're going to make our homemade chocolate sauce. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alrighty, now our ham is done. We took it out of the crock pot. It's so tender. The bone fell right out, and we just sliced it, let it set for about 10 minutes, and then just sliced it however you want to. Mine was not one of the pre-sliced ones, so I just sliced it up and got some chunks. And let me tell you, the leftover of this, if there is any, chop it up, add some barbecue sauce to it, heat that through, and you've got some wonderful pulled pork. But that is one delicious ham. It's so tender when you cook it in the crock pot. Now, we're going to wrap up our dessert. In this pot down here, I just have some water, and I've got a glass bowl because I don't have a double boiler. The key is make sure that the bottom of this pot does not touch that water. You want to bring that up to a simmer, and I've got just 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips that I'm going to melt. I'm going to add about a half a cup of heavy whipping cream to that. And I'm going to add just a tiny bit of butter. We're going to make our own little chocolate sauce, but I'm not going to whisk the butter in until the end. So just a little bit of butter. Let's just set that right there for the minute. Now, while that's coming up to a simmer, we want to keep an eye on that. But while it's simmering, I'm going to show you how to get the seeds out of a pomegranate. Here is just a bag of salad mix, whatever kind you like. Now, this is a pomegranate that you buy in the stores, and you look at that and you're like, I don't know what to do with that. Most people don't know what to do with this. But you need a bowl of water. You can do it a couple of different ways. You want to cut it in half. This will bleed, so make sure you use it over, bleed, I shouldn't use that word, but over a board. And then you can score the outer edges of the fruit, because it is a fruit. Just score it. Hold it over top of a bowl of water. Be careful. And let me dry this off, because I don't want that to splatter all over me. And then just hit it with either the back of your knife or something heavy. I mean, you're going to have to hit it hard. But you see what's happening? You see what's falling to the bottom of this pan? That's the pomegranate seeds. And if you want to hold your hand over there, you can. And then just kind of let them fall out of there. Great thing to let your kids do. It's a little messy, but look in there. Look at all those delicious seeds. I want to show you up close. The little seeds are what you're going to eat. If it's a little big for you, another way you can do this is cut it in half, cut out a section of it. I'm trying to show you 2 or 3 different ways. And then over a bowl, take your fingers and dig out the little, they're called areoles is what they call them. Now, what will happen is the seeds will go to the bottom, and the white stuff, which you don't want, will float to the top. And these are little pomegranate areoles or seeds. The little red seeds are what's edible in a pomegranate. The rest of it is not edible. So you're going to want to do, again, you can hold it over there and beat the back of it with a knife, or you can take your hands, either way, and just get those little seeds out of there. They're so good. I love pomegranate seeds. The reason you want to do it over a bowl is to separate this part, because you don't want to eat that. Stir it down with your fingers, and the little red things will go to the bottom, and this white pithy part will come to the top. And that's how you seed a pomegranate. You can buy these little things in the store already seeded, but they're expensive when they do the labor for you. So I just get the whole pomegranate and do it myself. My water's simmering here. Don't want to let that chocolate burn. So let's switch back to the chocolate for just a second while this settles. And I'll show you what we're going to do with those in just a second. Whisk your chocolate and whipping cream together, and it'll melt into a sauce. Let it go. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. Let that chocolate melt just a little more. Move my pomegranate out of my way. Let me show you something here. Remember back when, a little while ago, we made the brownies and we put them in the pan with the little foil sling? Right there's why you do or not the little foil sling, but the little parchment paper sling. Turn that down to simmer. I'm going to add my butter in there. Let that butter melt until it all becomes one big delicious bowl of melted chocolate sauce. That's all there is to homemade chocolate sauce. Be careful because the steam is hot. Turn that down. Actually, I'm going to take that off the heat for just a second while I cut my brownies. Now, we're going to cut our brownies. You can take them off the little foil if you want. Little pomegranate. Ain't going to hurt nothing. So take a piece of your brownie, put it in the bottom of your bowl. I'm using vanilla, but you use whatever kind of ice cream that you like. I like vanilla with this particular dish. And then your sauce. And that's it. Let's stir that butter in. Now that I'm back over here, I can put it back on the heat. Chocolate over a double boiler like this, and you can do this in the microwave if you wanted to. I just wanted to show you a different way. You cannot leave it alone. If you leave it alone, what will happen is the chocolate will scorch. And once it starts melting and you stir in that butter, just keep whisking it until that is completely melted, and you've got a wonderful homemade chocolate sauce that is better than anything you're going to buy in the store. And it just takes a few seconds. I used heavy cream because it's the holidays. If you wanted to use half and half, you could. Or even milk would be fine. But then my ice cream fell off my brownie, melting. That's okay. Now, take some of your sauce, kill the heat. And the best part, are you watching? Looky there. Oh my goodness. And that, my friends, is a hot fudge sundae. You're not going to get that anywhere that's that good. That is so delicious. Oh, so good. You could do some whipped cream on top if you wanted to. But there's dessert. So let's finish up our salad. Now, back to our little pomegranate. Remember, we've got the, where my little strainer went. Hold on here just a second. Oh well. Hands, let me wash my hands. Let's go wash our hands. If you have a strainer, use a strainer. I can't find my strainer. It's probably in the dirty dishes. Get the white part out as much as you can. If you stir those the little aerials, as they call them, a little strainer just makes this so much easier. You know the little thing that we strain our flour mixtures through? If you've got one of those, then you can get all of that white stuff off the top instead of doing it like I'm doing it. But that's okay. We got it. Now we want some paper towels. We're going to dry those little pomegranate seeds. And we're going to add them to our salad. Here's the wonderful little pomegranate seeds. If you've never had these, they're delicious. I'm going to pour a little bit of this water off. They are tart and delicious. And you can go ahead and of course get all of the seeds out of that pomegranate, and they will keep in your refrigerator. Just put them in a sealed container and they'll keep in your refrigerator. So you want to kind of dry them off just a little bit and get any, bigger pieces out. If you've got some of the white, the little small pieces, it's okay. You don't have to worry about that. Sprinkle them over top of your salad. Now, does that look like Christmas or what? They look like little jewels, little ruby jewels. And they're very healthy, extremely healthy, full of antioxidants and things that really we need to be eating more of. So that one pomegranate, that was a very seedy pomegranate. And that would, give us quite a few of the little pomegranate aerials. Now, top that with, I'm going to use some sunflower seeds, but you could use cashews, almonds, whatever you like. But I just want to add a little bit of a crunch to that and some protein, and nuts have lots of protein. And then, you don't want to take away the flavoring too much. So I'm just going to make a simple little vinaigrette. I've just got some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to add in, need a little whisk. Let me get this one. I'm just going to add in some red wine vinegar. You could use white wine vinegar if you wanted, or champagne vinegar, or sherry vinegar even. About 1/4 of a cup of the red wine vinegar to 3/4 of a cup of the olive oil. And there you go. You've got a simple little vinaigrette that took seconds to make. And it's so much better for you than the stuff you buy that's full of all those chemicals. And it's cheaper. Save some for extra for serving. So there you go. Quick and easy and so good. We've got our delicious just lettuce salad, and I use just chopped up hearts of romaine with a little bit of radicchio in it, with our wonderful little pomegranate aerials in there, and our delicious crock pot baked ham, and our wonderful little homemade hot fudge sundaes with our warm, freshly baked brownie, our delicious vanilla ice cream, and our homemade chocolate sauce, which you could use dark chocolate if you wanted to, semi-sweet, whatever kind of chocolate that you like. You could even do it with white chocolate chips with some heavy cream and just a touch of butter. Melt that either in the microwave at 30-second increments or over. Make a double boiler out of just a bowl and a pot of water. Just make sure that this bowl doesn't touch the water. What happens if that water touches the bottom of your bowl? Your chocolate will seize and it just becomes a scorched flavor, and it's just not good. But if you just will make sure that the water just doesn't touch that, that's a quick, easy way to melt chocolate, and you can control the heat on your stove. So here are just some wonderful little recipes for you to try on your Christmas buffet. Start the traditions. Get the kids in the kitchen with you. Let them help you beat that pomegranate or dig those seeds out into the bowl of water like we did. They would love to do that. I don't know of a kid that wouldn't love to get to hit that. Then our wonderful little brownies, they love anything like that that's simple and easy and quick. And our delicious crock pot ham, you could do that any time of the year. But Christmas, I find sometimes is very stressed. You're pressed for time, and your crock pot can be your best friend, and that frees up your oven for other side dishes that you're going to cook. So here you go, some easy Christmas recipes, really for Christmas or any time of the year. Thank you for joining with me, and from all of us here, everybody that's behind the scenes of Everyday Manna, and all of the partners out there, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Remember the reason that we celebrate Christmas, which is the birth of Jesus. Bake him a cake this year, sing happy birthday, leave him a gift. If you've got a little child, Austin did that and I loved it. Do all those things, establish those traditions with your children when they're small, and when they grow up, they will remember them for the rest of their lives. Thank you, partners. We love you, and have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you for watching Everyday Manna with Lisa. This program is made possible by viewers like you. Your support is continually needed to keep Christian programming on the air. Please send your best financial gift to Living Faith Television in care of Everyday Manna, P.O. Box 1867, Abingdon, Virginia 24212.